What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Bulls Nation, as soon as maybe you thought the game would be over, the Bulls seem to have ran out of energy. The defense was all over the place, and every single negative you could possibly find was probably put onto this Bulls team. When there's a will, there's a way, and the Bulls somehow, someway found their way to a victory against the Utah Jazz and extends their winning streak to 3 as we now fall 2 games below 500. And we seem to be surging back and reviving our NBA season. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall game today. Who was your player of the game? Your thoughts and opinions on how well the Bulls played today. We won this game 126 to 118. In our last 3 games, we've scored over 120 points, and it really shows that our offense, when it's kicking and it's gone well and it's gone great, the Bulls can, I guess, surge and win any game possible. And that's exactly what we saw in this game against Utah. Now, by far, this is not the best game we've seen over the course of the week. Obviously, the game against Philly I thought was better. The game against Brooklyn I thought was better. I think that goes without saying. And there were a lot of mistakes and a lot of errors that the Bulls made in this game. But the most important thing here, we won this game. And not only did we win this game, this was the second night of a back-to-back when you thought the Bulls could be tired. And they were. They looked tired out there. Their energy wasn't there 100% of the game. But these are the games that, in my opinion, can help you revive your season. These are the games that I think will help you, I guess, go on back into that 500 mark. Go back into the positives of the 500 mark, above 500 and whatnot. These are the games that will help you, I guess, throughout the whole course of the NBA season. On a second night of a back-to-back, where you know you're going to be traveling out and having some away games after this, and you know this game could mean a lot for the confidence of the team, and we go and win it. And by hook or by crook, good game, bad game, doesn't necessarily matter the whole time. The Bulls won this game. But of course, we got to talk about the positives and the negatives. But before I do, I actually have something I want to bring to you guys' attention. Over the past 3 years, basically, of this Bulls channel, I have seen a lot of people ask whether or not I will ever make a Discord, I guess, for the Bulls show and whatnot. And I think it's about time that I guess it's time to really make one. My friend and I will be making one. But of course, I'd like to know what you guys think about that before we really enhance anything or before we really do something that might not mean much to you guys. So I do want to start a Discord. My friend obviously as well wants to start a Discord. It will be us together realistically. And I'd just like to know what you guys think about that. Would you be happy joining a Discord, or is it not for you or whatnot? And again, I'll keep on mentioning it throughout the past couple of videos. It's not ready now, so I'm not going to send a link or anything like that. But at the same time, if you'd really like a Discord, I guess, for the Bulls show, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if a lot of people want to see it, then I'll be happy to make it, and we can make that grow as well. So again, I appreciate all the support nonetheless, but let me know in the comments below. That would really help me out. But let's talk about the Bulls game overall. First things first, I will talk a little bit about the negatives of the game. Our defense was very much a question in today's game. I don't think it was consistent. I don't think it was very good. Our help defense, our communication, our points in the paint that we allowed, all of that was a big problem for the Bulls today. Utah, as good as they were in this game, and I give full credit to Utah, they had some of the easiest runs to the rim I've seen all season by this Bulls team. It was really that bad how bad our defensive, I guess, work in the paint was. I believe they've in the third quarter they had over 40 points in the paint, and that's too much to give, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care which team you are. For a team like Utah that likes to spread the floor, play a 5-out system, and then obviously drive to the basket when there's no real rim protection there, that's what they do. But at the same time, I think we made it way too easy for them. And I think it's because of our communication. Obviously, the back-to-back scenario, them being very tired, not switching. There was a one where DeMar DeRozan and Goran Dragic in the same corner where you can easily communicate with each other. They both didn't switch, and it led to a very open layup and one opportunity for Utah. These are the things that I think the Bulls need to improve on in the next game. Communicating on defense, improving their help defense, rotating to the right people, switching when there needs to be switched, and stuff like that to prevent easy runs to the rim like that happening. A lot of people will just say it's Vooch's fault, but in my opinion, it's not always the center's fault. You got to help the helper. You got to be able to rotate and help Vucevic when his weaknesses are clearly present in the pick and rolls and whatnot and everything in between. I do feel like everybody is responsible for the lack of defense that we actually showed in this game. But of course, you got to give respect to Utah as well. They are one of the best offensive teams in the NBA. Obviously, the former Bull, Larry Markkinen, had a 28-point performance in this game. 7 dunks in this game as well. So he was incredible. And he's been incredible for a while with Utah. And I truly think there is an all-star, I guess, spot waiting for Larry Markkinen very, very soon. So I'm very, very proud of him. But of course, I'm very happy for the Bulls' win. So that's a couple of things. I think our shot selection as well was a little bit poor. Again, I don't necessarily think we were ball hogging for most of the game, but I did think that our shot selection from even guys like Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Io, everybody in between, our shot selection was not as great as we saw in the last 2 games. But at the same time, some guys erupted for points in this game, and our 2 closers, our 2 guys that we really want to see play well together, played well together. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan both had amazing games this time out, and it surged the Bulls to a victory here. If any one of them didn't show up in that game, the Bulls would have lost in convincing fashion. But they showed up. They showed up to the plate. They performed big time in the 4th. They performed big time throughout the game, and they won us this game as well. The big 2, ladies and gentlemen, this time out, but the big 3 in total played really well as well. You cannot forget about Nikola Vucevic's performance. But overall, it is time to go into those individual performances and discuss more in detail about the positives and the negatives. Starting off with DeMar DeRozan, he had 35 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 13 from 22 from the field and 0 from 0 from the 3-point line. DeMar DeRozan in the 4th quarter was huge for this team, but he was pretty much solid all night. He wasn't always the guy that goes for shots. It was mainly in the 4th quarter and late 3rd quarter. He's like, okay, I need to shoot. Everybody else, there's lack of energy. If it's not for me, if I can't get this team, I guess, past that energy barrier and score a couple of points to help, then I'm kind of useless here. That's what I thought DeMar DeRozan's performance was today. Because let's be honest, the stats might fool you. There were a lot of guys who didn't contribute very well today on this team. Definitely not the same as we saw against the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. So DeMar had to step it up a bit. DeMar said, okay, our teammates are not necessarily, or at least not all of them, are going. It's time for me to perform. It's time for me to step up and search for my shots. And he did. And he delivered as well. 13 from 22 is a very solid return for DeMar DeRozan, shooting 60% overall. Very, very good to see. And again, if it wasn't for him, we would have lost this game. Sometimes the team ball movement and whatnot, it works. Obviously, this game, I truly felt like we tried to move the ball a little bit more, but guys weren't making their shots. So that's when the closers have to close and the stars have to shine. And DeMar DeRozan is a star, and he shined today. Patrick Williams, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 from 10 from the field, and 2 from 4 from the 3-point line. And that's exactly what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick Williams was inefficient in today's game. He was off in today's game. I love the fact that he took 10 shots, and I still would persist on Patrick Williams to shoot the ball by all means. I mean, most of the nights he will be efficient. Most of the nights he will be effective when he's shooting. And in the 4th quarter, he delivered 2 very big shots for the Chicago Bulls as well. But he did not provide what we would normally want to see him provide out of his offense in terms of his efficiency. Because if he was efficient today, he probably would have had another 15-point night for the Chicago Bulls. It's as simple as that, really. But he wasn't efficient, and that's why guys like DeMar had to take over for the Bulls as well. But for Pat, again, it's a bad night in my eyes, but you just got to move on into the next game. No one's going to be dwelling on it. We won the game. He helped us win the game as well. He almost posterized Larry Markkinen. Speaking of, Larry Markkinen posterized almost our whole team today. So, again, I would say just move on to the next one. We've got a big game coming up, and we're going to need Patrick Williams to score in that game as well. Nikola Vucevic, 15 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 5 from 8 from the field and 2 from 5 from the 3-point line. I said earlier in the video that the big 2 played well, and again, I think the big 3 played well. Vucevic is part of this big 3, and he played a very good game as well, in my opinion. Again, when you have guys like Walker Kessler on you, Vanderbilt on you, even Larry Marketing on you, you have mismatches there that Vucevic can capitalize on with how physical he is and how much experience he has had at the NBA level compared to those guys. And that's exactly what he did. But he wasn't afraid to shoot the three, 2 from 3 overall today as well. 4 assists on the night, 16 rebounds. Vucevic has really stepped up his rebounding recently, and it's been well needed. Again, even when we have been winning a lot of our games, the biggest talking point that anybody could say is that the Bulls give up too many offensive rebounds. The Bulls cannot grab rebounds as a team. We're not rebounding in committee and everything in between. And Vucevic, I think, took that very personally, as he is the number 1 rebounder on this team, and he takes pride in his rebounding. He says it all the time. So I'm happy that he found a way to really even boost and elevate his rebounding even more in the last couple of games. Solid stuff from Nikola Vucevic. Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen, 36 points, 7 rebounds and 2 assists alongside of a block. 12 from 21 from the field, 6 from 12 from the 3-point line. Zach LaVine, man, this guy's on another level right now. It looks like every shot he shoots is falling in. Bad shot, good shot, amazing shot, shots that just should not go in whatsoever. They're all falling for him. There was a layup, ladies and gentlemen, where he was going past Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler averages around 2 blocks per game. I think in this league he's going to be one of the best defensive centers in the NBA very, very soon. That's what I think about Walker Kessler. That's how high I rate him. But at the end of the day, this man shot a layup so high off the glass that I just thought there was no chance of it going in. But everything seems to be falling for Zach LaVine. Layups, middies, threes, everything is falling. And Zach LaVine is extremely confident right now. But again, a lot more catch and shoots for Zach LaVine compared to what we normally see from him. And that's where I think the difference lies for him. I think he's getting his confidence off of catch and shoots, and then he's using those pick and rolls and those moving threes and those fadeaway threes to his advantage, because he's confident once he starts building it up. The Bulls, I really believe, 100% of my soul, they need to get more catch and shoot opportunities for Zach. Mid-range, 3-point shot, hell, put him in the paint and do a catch and shoot there as well. Get him some catch and shoot opportunities, because I think he will be amazing in that area, and he has been amazing in that area, and I think it helps elevate every single other part of his game today. Zach, in the last 3 games, man, I mean, the Brooklyn game, he took a step back, I understand that, but I thought that was done purposely. The Philly game and the Utah game, oh my goodness, the Detroit game, the Nets game the first time around. There have been some good games for Zach LaVine coming. I really think he's starting to build himself back into that, not only all-star caliber form, but the best version of himself that we can see. I really think we're starting to see that out of Zach, and maybe it's just a hot streak. Maybe he'll cool down after a little bit. I don't know, but he's been really fantastic for this Bulls team recently. Ayo Dosunmu, 7 points, 2 rebounds and 2 assists alongside of a steal. 2 from 4 from the field, 1 from 2 from the 3-point line. I feel personally, when it comes to Ayo, the only critique I can really give to him is when guys like Kobe White wasn't necessarily involved in the offense until the 4th quarter, and the same with Patrick Williams. I think that's when Ayo needs to start being aggressive. I think one of those young players had to be super aggressive in this game, and I don't necessarily think any of them really were, to be honest. I think Pat shot 10 shots, that's great, and he was aggressive, but he was missing. I think Ayo also needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I think Ayo needs to understand really that he's very capable. He's a very capable player, and he is a dangerous player when he's aggressive. Now, as young guys, I understand they're not always going to be aggressive. They're not the vocal point of the team either. I understand that. But when Ayo is aggressive, I think we are much more dangerous than what people give us credit for. So I'd like to see Ayo be a little bit more aggressive in the next game. We got Boston in the next game. I don't mean to jinx anything, but Ayo usually has good games against Boston. We'll wait and see how things go. Moving into the bench performance, ladies and gentlemen, Kobe White with a 5 points and 6 rebound performance alongside a 3 assists. And this is exactly what I mean by Kobe White. Scoring wise, he's not been the best for a while, efficiency wise at least. 2 from 6 from the field, 1 from 4 from the 3-point line, 6 rebounds today, 3 assists today, 1 steal today. As a bench player, he is finding other ways to make an impact. Do you know how many? He could have had 10 rebounds in my opinion. Do you know how many rebounds that he just tapped to somebody else in this game? How many times did you see Kobe leap over someone, even if they were 7 foot, knock it out of their hands, or just tap it to a Bulls player and had it secured in their hands? So many times did we see Kobe White do that. He's making an impact where he needs to make impacts. And yes, I'd love him to score efficiently well. And I want him to be more involved in the offense for all 4 quarters. And those are big problems, I understand that. But in every other aspect of the game, he's playing very, very well. I would say I don't think he did the best job against Jordan Clarkson, and he was mainly responsible for him in my eyes. But other than that, I think Kobe White, man, he's really earning his spot on this team. Even if it's not by scoring the ball, he's doing so many other things that really puts him in favour with this Bulls team. Derrick Jones, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 from 2 from the field. Solid night from Derrick Jones Jr. Again, it's a typical night for him, playing really well. He got hit in the eye, and then he just somehow managed to revive himself when the Bulls got, I guess, the rebound, and Io dishes it out to him in a nice dunk. That was a good moment for Derrick Jones Jr. in today's game. But again, that should have been a foul. I'm calling it there. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Derrick Jones played well. Andre Drummond, 11 points and 4 rebounds in 11 minutes of action. I'm glad he got over 10 minutes in this game, and I think he made a better impact in this game. Only 2 less rebounds compared to last game, but Utah are much bigger, so that makes a lot more sense. And he got 11 points, and he was bullying folks in that paint, ladies and gentlemen. I think personally the reason why Andre Drummond is not getting more minutes is because he has a negative plus-minus. And in the last game, it was the same. I kind of feel like Billy Donovan maybe is scapegoating Andre Drummond because of his negative plus-minus on a constant basis, when maybe it's the whole team that actually plays with Andre Drummond as well. I kind of think that's where Billy Donovan's mind is heading. Use Andre Drummond for a little bit, but not use him a whole lot because he might not impact winning as much as other guys. That's what I think Billy Donovan thinks. I don't personally believe that's true, but at the end of the day, we're winning games. I'm not going to complain about it too much. And Goran Dragic, 5 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. 2 from 5 from the field, 1 from 3 from the three-point line. Goran Dragic, again, he's finding his way to be a little bit more consistent. There are some games, remember when not necessarily even when we were winning, some of the games when we were losing, Goran Dragic was only able to score maybe 2 points and 1 assist, not really play a whole lot of minutes, or even when he was playing a whole lot of minutes, he wasn't making an impact. I think the start of the season, Goran Dragic was much, I guess, better, but now he's much more consistent. We're consistently seeing those 5 points and 3 assists making an impact in certain ways. He had a nice behind-the-back pass to DeMar DeRozan, which he's done constantly throughout the season as well. Obviously, it wasn't finished, and Andre Drummond gets the putback and whatnot. And again, he's been very, very solid for this Bulls team overall. But now we must turn to the must improve. And I will give this must improve to Patrick Williams. Again, it's the fact that the shots weren't falling. I don't think he had the best defensive game either. There were a couple of times where he let opponents just drive by him and he couldn't really get back to recover. I do think this has not been the best Patrick Williams performance that we've seen, especially this last week. But that's okay. He's still a young player. Obviously, I don't know what the reason behind it is. He didn't have a great game against Utah the first time around either. Maybe it's the team that's getting Patrick Williams, I guess, in all sorts of problems against Utah. But I don't know. But I know we could see better, and we've clearly seen better. And I'm not going to let one bad game hinder the fact that he had an incredible game against Philly and an incredible game against Brooklyn. And we still have more time to see him perform and elevate his game even further. We'll see what happens in the next game against Boston. Hopefully he can deliver for the Bulls. The player of the game for me will be Zach LaVine. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to Nikola Vucevic. Both of them had amazing nights as well. Got to give them credit. The big three really showed up in this game. But Zach LaVine was just on another level in terms of his shooting today and attacking the basket. Really, really solid offensive performance for Zach LaVine. The Bulls' record is 19-21. This is the first time in a long time we were only 2 games below 500. Usually we're around the 4 or 5 mark. And again, I really thought if we lost to this Utah Jazz, we would be staying around the 4-game below 500 mark. That's kind of where we were for most of the season. And if we lost to Utah, we'd be in the same place that we've been most of the season as well. But beating this Utah Jazz team actually puts us a step further, actually puts us in a better standing. And we're not far away now from the teams that are above us. When we were 4 or 5 games below 500, we were far away. Teams were just winning and winning and winning, and we were losing and losing and losing. But now we're starting to pick up the pace. We're starting to revive our season, as I said before. And it does feel good to see this Bulls team win and go on a 3-game win streak. And I want to see us make it 4, but it won't be easy. Our next game is against the Boston Celtics. We have played Boston 3 times already this season. This will be the final time that we play Boston. We've won 2 games between Boston, and we lost 1 game against Boston as well. And that was very close and competitive. Almost all the games against Boston are extremely close and competitive games. The difference, I think, this time around for Boston is that they're going to have Rob Williams, I believe, that they didn't have the second and first game that we played them. So that's going to be interesting for Boston. Does that mean Vucevic will have a quiet game because their best rim protector is basically ready to play? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen between the Bulls and the Boston Celtics, but I think Bulls fans will be confident, and I feel like they should be. They've won 3 straight games, really good opposition that we're playing as well. Boston are having up and down moments right now. We'll see which Boston team shows up, and most importantly, we'll see which Bulls team pops up, because that will be the difference in the game. If we see isolation hero ball Bulls, we might lose this game against Boston. And if we see the Boston that's going to be firing at the 3-point line, this might be a bad game for the Bulls. But again, if Boston comes in very inconsistent, the Bulls come in, bring their energy, bring their ball movement, bring their defense as well, we might have a good chance to beat Boston. I'm not too sure, but it's an away game, the start of an away trip. Let's wait and see how the Bulls can do. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Again, if you want to join the Discord, let me know in the comments below if you're willing to support the Discord, and we'll see how many people we can get as well. We'll probably do it anyway, but at the same time, I'll keep on mentioning it in every single video, just so most of you guys can, I guess, not be forgotten about. So have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.